Okay, so today we have a few new things. Samsung have announced a new phone, more information on the Xbox and Bethesda purchase. Good news for all the employees and anyone who's thinking about the employees. Remember, in these acquisitions, something does normally happen to the employees, but that's not the case here. So we'll have more information on that, as well as some licensing deals, or rumours about licensing deals for future Bethesda games that don't currently have a deal already arranged with Sony. Quick spoiler, not good for Sony. If you're Sony, you are sweating right now. So let's get started with the S20 Fan Edition. The S20 Fan Edition is basically just kind of a scaled down version of the S20. So it comes in at about $700 US, £600 here in the UK. And the specs are normally top spec, so that can give people who are budget conscious. Now, it's £700 for a 5G model, however, so it's still fairly expensive, but it has a Snapdragon 865 chipset for the for 5G version. The 4G version does have an Exynos 990, I'm afraid. 6GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, 4,500 mAh battery, 25 watts of wired fast charging and 15 watt wireless charging. 3 rear cameras include 12 megapixel main camera, 12 ultra wide and 8 telephoto. They're not quite at the S20 Plus's 64 megapixel main shooter, but that's still incredible. And the S20 Fan Edition even inherits a 30 times digital space zoom feature as well, thanks to a 3 times optical zoom on the telephoto lens. And there's also a 32 megapixel selfie lens to round out the photo capabilities. However, there are a few compromises. So it has a 6.5 inch OLED display, but only with Full HD Plus resolution, so 2400 by 1080, instead of the WQHD Plus of the main S20 line. But it does have a 120Hz refresh rate, which will be nice for people. It also has a polycarbonate back, and it comes in 6 colours: navy, red, lavender, mint, white and orange. Now, it's releasing in October 2020, but it will still only come with Android 10, with an expected upgrade to Android 11 soon, coming soon, and it's expected to be one of the 3 major operating system updates coming in the next few years. I definitely say it makes the right cuts, to be honest, and it's definitely this phone generation's version of the S10e or even the S10 Lite, which will tide some buyers over until the 2021 slate of phones. Samsung have really started changing the way they release phones. They got the so last year they had the S10e, S10, S10 Plus, and then later on in the year they had the S10 Lite. Now we just got the S20, S20 Plus, S20 Ultra, and now the S20 Fan Edition, which is the same as the S20 Lite. It's a very weird naming scheme. I don't know. But anyway, it's definitely good to see this kind of phone. I mean, it's definitely a good phone to see. Amazon have also announced a few new products. I'm not too up to date on this. They've announced their game streaming service as well. So there's a new 4th generation Amazon Echo, which actually comes in a small spherical spear. It's quite spherical spear, sorry. It looks quite nice actually. So it's a spherical design, better sound performance with that spherical design, as you would expect. And it has an on-device speech recognition module to locally process audio on the Echo, which will make requests faster than ever before. The Echo is also including Amazon's new AZ1 Neural Edge silicone module. So that's what's used to process the audio of your voice requests using local machine learning speech algorithms before sending the command to the cloud. So it's not fully on here. Amazon also said the new Echo will combine the features from... So the new Echo, it combined the features from both the 3rd Gen Echo and the Echo Plus, and is featuring a built-in Zigbee smart home hub. What's a Zigbee? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not aware of what the Zigbee smart home hub is, but it also works with Amazon Sidewalk, which is the company's local social networking is a local system. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it's basically a way to link smart home devices and Amazon products using Bluetooth Low Energy beyond the range of a standard Wi-Fi network. And it can be operated at the scale of a neighbourhood, apparently. It can have 3 colours: charcoal, chalk and steel blue, and is shipping on October 22nd with pre-orders open over Amazon's website. Other things that were announced in today's hardware event do also include a new Fire TV stick, Lite, and also a massive redesign to the Fire TV's home screen. Now, I'm not sure what devices this redesign is coming to. I'm hoping it comes to everything, but I'm not sure. Now, but they have revealed 2 new devices. So there's a new normal Fire TV stick for $40 US. There's supposedly I think that's $10 less than the new Chromecast that's supposed to come out later this month. I'm not actually sure on the pricing of that. And then there's new Fire TV Stick Lite at just $30 US. And they're currently claiming that it's the most powerful streaming device for under $30, and it's being released on September 30th, one day before Google's hardware event. Yeah, that doesn't seem too accidental, but anyway. And there's also a new, a massive redesign coming. And when I see this, look at this, I do mean massive redesign. Individual user profiles will be coming up, while there's improved navigation with a favourites bar for app shortcuts. Like all new products announced today, the Fire TV Stick and Stick Lite will enter a low power mode when not actively being used to conserve energy. Amazon has also said there are over 40 million active Fire TV accounts, which is an astonishing number. So that's incredible. Also, if you're someone who has an Echo Show, then good news for you, as you'll soon be able to stream Netflix video on your Echo Show. Amazon really are expanding their smart product line, and it's definitely for the better. I also do believe actually that I heard something about, let me just double check this quickly. Nest Hub Disney Plus. Yeah, so Disney Plus is going to Google Assistant smart displays. Let me check Netflix. Yeah, that's been available since 21st of July. Netflix on the Nest Hub and Hub Max. So yeah, it's definitely good. Yeah, I definitely like that. So I will now I've had a Google Home Mini in my room for a while, so I won't be going over to the Amazon side of things, but this is definitely a good thing to hear. And our final piece of news about is some more news about what's going on with exclusives in terms of Bethesda games after the purchase by Microsoft. So this is a fairly massive story, and it's still continuously evolving. Now, nothing I'm about to say is officially confirmed by official sources from Microsoft, so be aware of this. However, I am hearing this from a source who heard it from a source, so again, please do take it with a massive pinch of salt. But Colt Eastwood, I do highly recommend checking out his video, by the way. He's a YouTuber. He has basically released a video today, basically stating that any future Bethesda game that doesn't currently have a licensing deal with Sony will be Xbox One and Xbox Series X. Will be Xbox and Windows exclusive. Now, before a lot of people get angry about that, what this means. What does this mean for you? Yeah, I'm talking to you, Jim. Yeah, Jim, your average person who maybe you're not even an Xbox or a PS4 or PS5 gamer. Maybe you're a PC gamer. Well, if you're a PC gamer, I have some really good news for you. In theory, all games will carry on coming to PC, and that is still a Microsoft platform. They'll all come to the Xbox, obviously, as they're going to be Xbox exclusive for console. And some will also come to xCloud, Microsoft's game streaming service. So, the only people who are really missing out are solely PlayStation gamers. If you're a PlayStation gamer and you really want those Bethesda titles, then as long as they come out on xCloud, honestly, my recommendation to you will actually just be to pay the £11 payment a month that gives you access to all of the Xbox exclusives in the cloud, unless you want the full power of an Xbox console. I'm actually going to recommend you either go for Xbox All Access on the Series S, if you're just looking for those Bethesda games and you're looking for a few of the exclusives, but it's not going to be your primary console, then I recommend that you get the Xbox Series S. If it's going to be your primary console, I recommend the Series X. That's kind of the way I'm leaning towards it here. So if you plan on playing majority of your games on the PS5, digital or non-digital, and then you want to be able to play Xbox exclusives, then you kind of have two ways to go. You either just pay for Ultimate and play them through xCloud. Most exclusives are on there, not all though, unfortunately. And then, or you buy an Xbox Series X. Now, the Series X is definitely a good call. Or you buy an Xbox Series X or Series S. So that's my recommendation. If this does turn out to be true, and no future Bethesda games that aren't already announced, apart from two which are timed exclusives on PlayStation, ironically. If no games after those are going to be on PlayStation, I recommend seeing about investing in a PC, getting access to xCloud on your phone just by paying for Ultimate, or buying a Series S and just buying the games on the digital storefront there. But either way, this is completely reported by one YouTuber who heard it off some sources. I personally believe it and find it quite believable, but only time will come and see. However, some things I heard in an interview that he showed that were being said definitely do seem to imply that this is true. So, Microsoft basically said a lot, or Phil Spencer in an interview on a podcast basically said a lot of things about we're basically kind of waffling around, speaking around, dancing around what he was saying, avoiding saying games will be Xbox exclusive. And when you think about that compared to what you hear, go watch the video, you'll see what I mean. You'll be able to kind of tell what that is. Like, he is very specifically dancing around and thinking carefully about what he says to avoid saying all future games will be Xbox exclusive. Because see, they are currently leaving ZeniMax alone in terms of its employee responsibilities. So all employees are staying, none are being laid off, and we're not sure what's going on with publishing rights. Supposedly all publishing rights have now been transferred over to Microsoft and Xbox. That would make a lot of sense, really. They are now the parent company, so technically I would assume that they would have control over that, but I don't know how it exactly works. Obviously, I'm not in that field. However, Todd Howard, Bethesda guy, basically said that when talking about Starfield, and the way he said this, again, he took his time saying it. He said that they are looking forward to working with Xbox to help develop Starfield. Now, the wording of that, we are looking forward to working with Xbox. no mention of Sony whatsoever in that it does imply that they are very closely working with Xbox, and Sony are very not part of the picture for most games. We don't know what Microsoft will do about series like Fallout or Elder Scrolls. I would imagine that those would be pretty enticing for a lot of gamers to jump over to Xbox. Some people are saying that, I don't care, blah blah blah. To be honest, we may not realise just how many games that Bethesda are kind of overarching on. It includes Wolfenstein. It includes so many games, honestly, that I'd be surprised if one game you played wasn't or you hadn't heard of a game by any of them. You've heard of Doom and you've heard of it, really, and everyone knows Doom, so you might not be someone who plays it, but Doom is one. Also, some news about Doom. Just very quickly, actually, Doom Eternal is coming to Xbox Game Pass on October 1st. I'm not sure whether this is just for PC or console at the minute. I believe it's coming to both. And that I could be wrong. But that is definitely incredible to see. Xbox basically announced this kind of secretly yesterday. And then they confirmed it earlier this morning actually, and then they confirmed it later today. So it's just again proof that this purchase is much bigger than anyone saw coming. And I for one cannot wait to see how it goes. So yeah, that is everything for today. My name is Luke, this is Dan Digital World. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in Saturday's episode.